Hey guys, Rich Lopez with the Drop Time Traditions podcast. I don't even know what episode this is anymore. I've done so many. But my guest tonight is Mr. Todd Hill, Colorado native, I believe, correct?
No, I've been here 40 years. I grew up in Southern Connecticut, moved here when I was 15.
Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Before we get into it, Todd, I just want to just recognize our supporters here for the show. Stickbow Country Custom Arrows, Traps Feather Rests, Daryl Damron, Traditional Bowhunter Magazine, Sauk Trail Archery, stickbowsupplies.com, Whiskey City Trad Gear or WCTrad.com, Jessie Savage, blacksmith.com. Now, this here, traditionaljunk.com. Folks, the T-Cats show in Kalamazoo this weekend. Traditional Junk is part of that, as is several other people involved in that. Check it out. It's in Kalamazoo. I'll have something on my page for you people to check out. St. Joe River Bow Company, theethicalpredator.com, and stickbowhuntsmx.com. So, Todd, where just let us know where you were born. You said Connecticut. So you were
Yes,
how long did you live in Connecticut?
15 years.
Okay, so you moved out west afterwards?
Yeah, my dad was lucky enough he had a job that we could travel all summer long, and they loved Colorado.
Hmm.
So after seeing 48 of the 50 states, my dad retired and we moved to Colorado.
Okay. So whereabouts are you now in Colorado? Such a big state.
We are on the west slope, an hour and a half from the Utah border.
Okay. Okay.
So kind of central, right off I-70.
So how were you introduced to archery and bow hunting? How did that come to be?
Um, I never was a hunter. I love to fish, but when I met my wife's grandfather, he invited me up to Minnesota to go hunting.
Hmm.
And I purchased a Winchester lever action. And then when all my friends learned that I was going to start hunting, they got me into bow hunting. And my mom bought me a bear whitetail hunter compound for Christmas one year.
Did it have six or four wheels?
Uh,
'Cause they had the whitetail and then the whitetail two and the hunter.
yeah, I think it had four because this was 1997,
Hmm.
1998.
From what I've read, that particular bow, any of the bear whitetail series compounds, is responsible for killing the most animals on the planet
Wow.
because
Mine
they
blew
sold so
up.
many. Oh, God. Uh,
Yeah.
where did the limbs explode?
No, the cam came off.
Wow.
Yeah, it took it to a bow guy, said it was unrepairable. Then I bought a Darton, and then I was on a job site and I heard these guys talking about archery, and one guy lived in the same town as I do. And so we started hunting together, and then he bought a traditional archery business. And he remodeled his garage. And before he moved the business in, he asked me if I would paint it for him. And he asked me what I was going to charge. And he happened to be holding a Coca-Cola and a slice of pizza. And I said, that's what I want. And I helped him go get the archery business and set it all up. And he gave me my first longbow.
Wow. That's amazing. So that's your profession? You're a painter?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the guy from Stickbow Country, he's a painter as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is
So
he a
you got
house painter or an art
he.
painter?
I think he's a house painter.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tedious work.
Yes.
Ironically, I love painting. Like my wife says, "Hey, I want to change the color in this room." I jump right on it because I like
Yeah.
doing that stuff, and I
Yeah.
like doing
I
two
love doing it.
tones. I love doing two tones or three tones because our old house, I had a bedroom that had three colors on the walls, and the ceiling was white, and then all the trim was white, so it really looked pretty cool.
Nice.
And you know my refinishing, I'm a little,
Yes.
I'm pretty intense as far as detail. So yeah, it took me longer than the average Joe to do a bedroom. But that was fun. Anyway, um, so your first bow was the whitetail. Did you?
Yes.
Oh, so then when did you transition to traditional? How long after?
When my buddy Dick bought that traditional archery business, I got what was called a coach whip, and that was a longbow, made right out of Grand Junction, Colorado. Um, and then a couple years after that, my buddy, he had an old bear bow and was showing it to me. It was a 1956 Kodiak, and he let me shoot it, and I hated the thing.
What is it about that bow that you hated? And I'm gonna guess that the grip was very thin.
No, no,
Hmm.
that's what I grew to love. It was ambidextrous, so I hated the small shelf and I couldn't hit anything. But um, so for his next birthday, I went on eBay and got him a 1950s Cub, and it was an I want to say like a 55, 56 Cub. Um, and then boom, it took off. And I actually hunted for over a decade with a 1956 Kodiak, 60-inch, 48 pounds. It's
Hmm.
still one of my favorite bear bows.
That's a fast bow.
They're very fast bows, incredibly fast.
Yeah. I had a guy reach out to me the other day. He sent me an IM, I believe. Yeah, instant message. And it's like, hey, what do you think of these limbs? And it was the 57 vintage, 56, 57 vintage. It was a grizzly, but you ever see the ones that have like it looks like little chipping in the glass, not stress, but like chipping. And
Hmm.
what those are fractures in the glass. In other words, they would never make the you remember, bear's always notorious for those vertical stress lines,
Yes.
which are fine. But this is actual chipping. That means things are popping in the glass. I told him, I said, do not shoot that bow. Because that 55 to 57, they were notorious for that.
Hmm.
And I think if you go back and check the history book for the Fred Bear book itself, they talk about those years. They had a couple of lean years where they had bad glass, this and that, and all this other stuff. But yeah, I told them, I said, don't even bother, man, because that's going to blow up in your face, and you don't want to be in the receiving end of that.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
that could be dangerous. Um, so after that, you hunted with that. Then what did you transition to after that, bow? I told you I'll go down
I
rabbit holes.
Yeah, I love the 59 Grizzly.
Hmm.
That's my favorite of all bear bows. I've hunted with the third gen St. Charles Thunderbird.
Ooh,
Uh, had Jay make me one of those. Actually, I had Jay make me like four of those.
they're
And
exceptional.
yeah, absolutely. I've got one here that I had Jay make for my son. Just right-handed, not the ambidextrous.
Hmm.
And he keeps saying, send it to him. He's 24 and married and lives in Arkansas now. And I just don't want to put it in a box and send it because it's such a good shooting bow.
Yeah. So
And
have Jay make him another one.
well, I'm probably going to have Jay make me an identical one.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fantastic bow. But
So
I've
I've
got,
heard. I've never owned one. I've had an original, but I never shot it. I just
yeah.
because I'm a collector. I don't like shooting stuff that's very rare.
Yeah. I got an original from Jay. I've got the second gen, which is right-handed. My buddy Dick, who got me into traditional archery, he had one of the experimental second gens, and he
Oh,
gave that to me. And I called Jay and got a little background on that. And Dan, I've got the third gens as well. So I was a big lover of anything and everything St. Charles for a long time.
oh, dude, I still am. I mean, I've got St. Charles all over my wall behind me. Um, New Glen. Actually, there was a time back in, I'm going to go, oh, heck, late 80s, maybe early 90s, before he wrote Bows on the Little Delta. And Glenn reached out to me and he knew that I was in the printing industry. And he goes, hey, look, would you like to scan the photos for my book? And I said, well, if I do this on the side as a side hustle, I'm going to lose my job. So I approached my company just to be transparent, and they said, hell no. Yeah. I was like, well, I had the opportunity. So that's my claim to fame as far as that's concerned. But
And
then,
I did get a bow shave. I believe that's the correct term for it from Bodoc, and it was signed by Glenn. And Bodoc had sent me a letter saying that this was one of Glenn's bow shaves that he used to make bows with.
oh, the spoke shave.
Spoke shave,
Yeah.
yes.
So it looks like a little propeller. It's got
Yes.
a blade in it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I love those. I collect them. They're fantastic. I've made a few myself, a few self bows. They've all exploded.
Well,
But I'm still here.
yeah, it's what counts.
So let's switch gears a little bit here and talk about Colorado bow hunting. It's such a game rich state, but I mean, it was 25, 30 years ago. You could basically get a non-resident tag, I believe. And it was limited. Now it's preference points, correct?
Not for archery, yes. It is all non-residents, but here's the kicker. They don't know how many non-resident tags to allocate per unit, so they said it's going to take 3 to 5 years to figure that out.
Nice.
So if there was 10,000 tags for a unit that they gave to non-residents, all you got to do is apply for it. And most of the time you have to apply, you can do it as a second choice so you don't lose your preference points.
Okay.
So, but word is in 2028 that the whole state's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
So
okay.
for residents and non-residents.
Well, I'm retiring in August, so you will see me sooner than later.
Do you have any points?
No, not yet. I'm starting now. I'm starting to apply.
Okay. Yeah. When you get about 4 points, 5 points, I'll take you on an elk hunt of a lifetime.
Wow, that's awesome. I appreciate that.
So
what is that your favorite game animal to chase out there?
That mule deer bucks.
Did you see the mule deer? Oh, what the heck is his name? Denny Sturgis killed?
No, I did not.
All right. If you're friends with him or even not friends with him, check out his page on Facebook. He killed 2 back-to-back monster high desert muleys.
Oh wow!
I'm talking monsters. Not Kurt. What do they score? No, I do not. He did not publish that. I don't think he's into that. I don't know, but they were big. I mean, I'm talking big.
There was 2 big bucks, and one of them was my neighbor, but he did it during rifle season. And there was even a bigger one that they saw the next day. His scored 224 dry score.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and there he said there was like a 286.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Do you remember the name Kurt Darner?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, this dude was notorious for killing monster. I'm talking monster, not typical muleys back in the 80s and whatnot. Anyway, he got busted. He was hunting them out of a helicopter. Yeah. So I got his book here, which I've read front to back, and it's insane. All the stuff that's in the book doesn't correlate to what the courts found. So it's really incredible reading.
To tell you how coveted mule deer hunting is in Colorado, I have 15 points, preference points, and I still can't get in probably the top 5 units.
That's nuts.
Yes. And that's a resident. So just imagine it would probably be 27, 28 for non-resident.
You're still a young guy, so you still got some time.
Yeah, I've got my eyes set on a unit next year.
Good.
So
good.
I saw some nice bucks hunting last year, and my buddy told me he would take me out and put me on that big 280 plus buck if I wanted to.
You know, it's funny. I look at mule deer. I look at photos of them, and I'm like, man, it just only had eye guards. You know, I have a thing for eye guards, brow tines, whatever you want to call them. I
Yeah.
mean, I've got some whitetails in here. They got 12, 13-inch brow tines. So
Wow.
those are big whitetails, but I've shot quite a few. Um, but when I look at a mule deer, I love the non-typical. The nastiest looking non-typical, the better.
Really?
I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's an anomaly. It's an abnormal thing, and I just
I two
I'd be happy to
falls.
kill.
Ooh, go ahead.
Oh, I'd be happy to kill one. I don't care
Oh,
what it is. You know.
two 2 years ago in the fall, I was working, and there's this area of Colorado, and it's nothing but private ranches, big private ranches. And there was a buck. He was just loaded with trash. He had three drop tines.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, he wasn't very wide, but he just had trash everywhere and a lot of mass. Um, I'd like to see what he looks like today, because in that area nobody hunts.
now do you do a lot of scouting and shed hunting?
I don't shed hunt. Scouting I do if I'm going into a new area. It I've hunted certain areas for so long that I just know the area and all the wallows, the water holes,
Mhm.
where they've been coming and going from. Um, but I hunted a new unit. I drew a tag this last year, and I'd hunted it archery 9 years ago. So I did go down and re-scout that area
Mhm.
this summer. Um, yeah, complete operator error, or I would have. I multiple opportunities getting elk, but it was just all operator error.
Now I got a question regarding scouting. Okay, so even though you don't draw an area or, or a unit, if you will, can you still go in there and just scout for the hell of it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
And have you done that to get your homework? You know, make your notes and stuff. And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
okay, what about shed hunting? If you were to do that,
Um, Shed hunting is huge around here.
yeah,
Yeah, it's incredibly huge. My neighbor, I mean, they load up 30 packs or 30 racks on a pack a
yeah.
day. And just something I've never got into. Um, but there's plenty of areas.
Hmm.
And you got to get the eye for it. From what my neighbor was telling me, you can walk right by a big old shed and not see it.
All right.
And I found some out archery hunting, and we'll pick them up. But in Colorado, to shed hunt, I think it's after May 1st. So
Okay.
you can't pick anything up prior to May 1st.
And yeah, I've been on all the websites and all that, and I know how big and crazy it is. The shed hunting is out there because people are selling antler burrs and bone and whatnot. And I got a friend of mine out there that sends me burrs, elk antler burrs, because I do scrimshaw on the side. It's a little hobby of mine. And he's like, dude, it's getting harder and harder to find stuff because I got to get out there before the retail people do.
Yes, it's big money.
It's terrible. I mean, there should be something to regulate it. I mean, it's just a natural resource. It is what it is. But hey, it's sort of like it's like going out and picking up aluminum Coke cans, in the road. That's kind of how they look at it.
That's I did that on the East Coast.
That's
Get
not
money.
easy on the East Coast.
No, well, 40 plus years ago it was. We just get bored in the summer and go pick up cans and saving up for pizza on Friday nights.
Pizza, one of my favorites. I got a buddy of mine that's a huge big buck whitetail hunter. He's a biologist in Maryland, and him and his wife go to Iowa every year and they go shed hunting. And the stuff they come back with is insane. Um, it's just incredible. But at any rate, so what's your favorite method of hunting?
Archery,
All right, besides archery, tree stand, stalking, spot and stalk.
stalking.
Okay, so you just stalking. Are you following hooves. You like hunting in the snow. I mean, I'm a guy from up north, so I always followed the Benoit way. So I would always find a track, cut a track, and just follow it until I caught up with that deer.
Yes. Yes. Um, uh, Elk, you can kind of pattern them. They come through the area, they'll stay for a little bit, and then they'll be gone. And about 3 days later, they come back.
Okay.
It just depends on how much hunting pressure there is. And right now, Colorado's pretty heavily hunted. Um, yeah, do a whole lot of spot and stalk and try and get in front of them is the best thing. I don't really call that much just because there's so many people out there that don't know how to call and the
Hmm.
elk go call shy. I will lightly cow chirp and try and get a cow to chirp back. And
Hmm.
then I know where they're going and try and call one off the herd.
I've heard some of these guys at some of the archery shoots. There's a couple of yahoos that like 3:30, no, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 to 6 in the morning, will get up with their elk call and pretend to be calling to wake people up. And it's the worst I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
always that.
yeah, the elk get call shy real quick around here just because everybody thinks that you need to call all day long.
No,
No, absolute no.
it's like turkey hunting. You can overcall turkey.
Yeah, if you're in a trophy unit for elk like I was last year, you could call all day long. You got bulls screaming at you all day long. You go into an over the counter unit, which means you can just go into Walmart and buy a tag for it.
Right, right.
They're highly pressured and yeah, do not respond very well to calls.
What about scent control? What are your thoughts on scent control? Let's just generalize that because I think there's a lot of BS being called out there.
Um,
Wind is
man,
everything.
I take and I use their little wafers that have the earth scent. I put all my clothes in a tub and then I stay watch the wind. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I don't hose myself down with those products that you can buy. I just kind of put stuff back into the tub or back into my bag at camp
Mhm.
and go from there.
What's your thoughts on diet? Because I know food has a lot to do. Some people are very odorous, if you will, from food.
Um,
I am with onions. I don't eat onions during hunting season
yeah, I
or garlic.
yeah, we kind of don't bring a whole lot of what's kind of bare minimum to hunting camp. Um, and it's breakfast, get up, bowl of oatmeal, something like that, or grab a bagel and throw that in your pack, and out you go. And you're eating under a tree.
Hmm.
Um, very rarely we come back to camp for lunch, and then in the evenings you're getting back so late it's something quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Get some shut
that's
eye.
yeah, absolutely because
You're beat.
yeah, you're beat. And that last hunting season, and I hunted 1 week, and I did 60 miles.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, you're getting back at night, and you're just tired. You want to eat quick and go to bed
Hmm.
because you're getting up at the crack of dawn and out before the sun comes up, and that's where your scouting comes in. So if you're in a new area and a good GPS works great, you can hit all your waypoints and head to where you need to go in the dark.
Yeah, it's funny because I spent all that money in the Garmin GPSs years ago, and now my phone does better than the Garmin
Yeah, I
if
still
I
have
get
a
a
Garmin.
signal.
Yeah, I in the mountains here, you just don't get the best signal, so you can either download your maps on Onyx,
Hmm.
or I like the GPS. And out here, there's a lot of, you could be 3 miles back and walk into a section of private.
Mm-hmm.
So you really need to know where you're going.
Yeah, for sure. Now, are you a two-season hunter or strictly archery?
No, I'm a 2 season.
Okay. What's your
So
favorite? What's your favorite to hunt with gun? Besides, well, I'm sure you'd go out elk too.
yeah, it's I've got an old Winchester and a 38-55 caliber lever
Ooh,
action.
okay.
So
That'll do the job.
yeah, it will. Um, I'm just a traditionalist. I
Hmm.
can't stand a synthetic stock.
Ah,
So
oh, yeah.
it's got to have a wood stock, and I love lever actions.
I had a 30-30 pre-64 Winchester that was so inaccurate. I could throw the gun at the deer and not even hit it. It was
uh,
terrible.
mine still has open sights. I will not put a scope on it.
Right. Mine was open.
And I hunted with a Marlin 45-70 for a long time, lever action, and then I went to the 38-55.
Okay.
And yeah, all I do is take it for a walk.
Do you reload your own?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, because I've never seen that cartridge per se. It's out there, I'm sure, but it's just I've never seen it out when I'm, shopping the shelves, if you will.
Yeah, it's not a very common. It was one of the calibers I wanted to get that I
Hmm.
know I could still buy ammo for it. Buffalo Bore
Hmm.
makes the hunting ammo that I shoot. And there's just Winchesters out there where you just can't get well, you can get ammo. It's just going to cost you a lot of money to try
Yeah.
and find that.
Well, we are not in well, we're not in an affordable hobby. Everything we do is expensive,
Yes.
but that's okay.
I
It's like golf. Thank God I don't play golf.
yeah, I don't need another expensive hobby.
Right?
Um, yeah, I was looking at the new Bear longbows that they made, and the
Oh, they're
prices on
beautiful. They're
they're
beautiful.
yeah, they're not cheap. $900 plus.
Well, but yeah, but then okay, let's look at Black Widow. You
Yeah,
buy one of their ASLs, and whatever their models are, I don't follow them, but I mean they're like $1,500.
yeah,
You order a custom made longbow from just these custom bowyers now, and they're up there 1,200, 1,300, depending on what's going on with the bow, the types of woods, the laminations. I mean, now I'm finding out that 70-inch longbows are hot item now because guys want to start competing.
well,
Um, I mean, Lancaster archery, half the guys there shooting, traditional stuff, were shooting the Sauk Trail archery bows, and those are hot looking bows, man. They're great shooters. Um, just incredible stuff, but 70 inches. I'm like, I can't see myself shooting a 70-inch bow, even though I own several target bows, but they're vintage target bows, and I shoot them in the backyard, but I feel like I'm holding like my garage door in my hand. That's how big it is. It's just like, wow,
I,
this is crazy.
I had a 70-inch. I believe it was a Bear Kodiak Special, 1956 or 57.
Yeah. They were 70 inches. I think they made them 62 to 70 inches.
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah. Those were good shooting bows.
I'm a
All of those
crappy
Kodiak.
shot anyway, so it doesn't matter what I shoot.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's awesome. So let's go back to your bow. Let's go back to archery. What's your favorite bow setup right now?
It'd have to be that St. Charles Thunderbird.
Okay. Are you
It,
hunting? Are you hunting with that presently?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Until my son really wants it back. So
Well,
it,
I'm going to advocate for your son. Hey, sorry, Pop's using it.
yeah, it's such a good, and the grip is phenomenal. Um, I never liked the big blocky grips.
No, me either.
and with that 56 Kodiak having that slimmer grip, I just like them. And Jay made that so phenomenal. And he made my other ones really nice too. I just fell in love with the way that bow shoots.
Yeah, right now I'm playing with two A riser bear takedowns. One's one of that limited edition that they made a couple
Yeah.
years ago, and a new one that I bought, which is Babinga with the green glass overlays and whatnot. And the Babinga one has the 1970s grip on it, which is pretty cool because it's got Fred's shelf. It's very,
Oh,
I
nice.
mean, like when I shoot it, I actually get feather burn on my finger, on my knuckle.
Is
Whereas
that the
the other,
50? Is that the 50th anniversary?
yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
And I
Uh,
got the green limbs to match. And then, but the limited edition one is not. It's whatever they did back then, and it's. I tell you what, man, that handle just fits me. Luckily, the green limbs that I'm hunting with fit that riser. So, because bear's kind of wonky when it comes to their riser and limbs as far as the when it was made, blah blah blah. And I'm taking both of those to Mexico in 3 weeks. So we'll
nice.
see. We'll see.
I I've had a few of the original Type One A risers. I've had the C riser. I've never had a B riser. I really like the A's. But I haven't found another riser from Bear that fits as good as that 1969 riser.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing like it. There was nothing like it. But, that's a handle. Okay. They made between the A, B, and C's from that era, the 69 to like 72, 73. I think they made a total of 300 handles.
Yeah.
Very rare birds, very expensive rare birds. That's something you just don't want to just putz around with. But I know guys that do it because these bows were meant to be shot. So I understand that mindset. Mine, they don't ever leave this room here. As you see, there's a void behind me. Those are bows I've sold. That empty area there. That is because I don't shoot. Haven't shot them in 10 years. So I'm like, why am I holding on to them?
Yeah. Over the last few years, I probably got about 30 left.
Yeah.
And I had well over 100.
Oh yeah, me too. And my other bedrooms have more bows in them. So they're just sitting there, and my wife's looking at me. She goes, "What are you gonna do with these things?" It's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna leave them with you. So it's as we get older, it's just you have to look at priorities and look at what works. I just want to hunt, so I'm just gonna hunt with what I got. So
Absolutely. I would love to find one of those 50th anniversary A risers. That's I if I
I
would
know a
like to.
guy. I know a guy, so I will send you the link.
Okay.
Now we're talking the newer 30th anniversary, 50th anniversary.
Yes.
Okay, you're a righty.
Yes.
Oh, he can accommodate you. Trust me, he's got good prices. So
Nice.
when we get off this, I'll send you the link to him. What the hell? Antique Archery, guys. He's on
Okay.
eBay. He's on eBay, and he will work with you. He's very awesome, dude. Awesome. I don't even know the guy, but he gave
Nice.
me some great deal on limbs. I told him what I had. I had the handle because I bought it because Gainesville is only a 2 hour drive for me, and I go to Gainesville quite a bit just for the hell of it. And I'm always up there. I see Neil up there all the time, and I'm in a pro shop, and I had to have this handle, but they didn't have limbs that would fit my need poundage wise. And I said, my favorite setup is an A riser with number 3 limbs. It's a 60-inch bow. I'm a 27 and a half to 28-inch draw, depending on my day, if I'm tired or not. But that works. That's my kill factor.
Yeah, I like 60-inch bows. Um, and I like the 59 Grizzly at 62 and the St. Charles that Jay makes at 63.
Mhm.
So did you do the tour of the Bear
No,
factory?
because it was right after COVID. Well, I was there last year. I've been there every 6 months per se, and I've asked for a tour, and they won't give me one.
Really?
Maybe I'm blackballed. I don't know. I have to reach out to Neil and say, hey man, what's going on here? I mean, COVID's over. So what's going on?
I,
So
I, I actually, through an old acquaintance of mine, was able to get the tour. My son and
cool,
I.
cool.
Yeah, Neil is really accommodating.
Yes, that I
And
know. He's a fantastic person. And
yes,
actually, he's on my hit list to get on this podcast. He's just a very busy guy. He's always doing the shows and stuff. I mean, he just come off the SHOT Show, so uh
and
I think
Kalamazoo's coming up, isn't it?
yeah, he'll be there. And of course I won't. And then I've got the PBS banquet, and then I've got a son's wedding in Vegas. But that's I got a lot going on for the next couple of months. So I'm going to reach out to him middle of summer. I think middle of summer probably kind of like a downtime for people, and get a hold of him because I want to talk about those recurves, the new longbows. Uh, there's always a bear representative at the Florida traditional bow hunters shoot in March, but I think I'm going to be out of town during that event. Uh, yeah, I know I am because that's where I'm going to be at the PBS banquet in Indianapolis. Um, so
We
anyway,
have a really good traditional archery shoot once a year here, um, towards the end of June, third week in
mhm.
June, and there's upwards of 600 people come. Um, yeah, it's people from all over the country come out and 4 days and just have a great time.
I remember years ago, back I think it was '88 or '85. I was in Grand Junction for the PBS banquet, and that was back in the '80s when I was, the mullet, the whole 9 yards. I looked like an idiot, and had this shark tooth skin jacket and a blazer, and I took it off, hung it on the back of my chair. And do you remember the name Dale Dye
Yeah, I
Bowyer
do.
from Montana?
Yeah.
He took my jacket off the chair and gave it to some homeless guy out on the street in front of the bar. And I'm watching this guy wear my jacket. I'm like, that looks like my jacket. And he's like, hey man, you didn't miss that, did you? And I said, nah, don't worry about it. That was all good. But I remember being at that banquet and seeing, the mounts on the walls and stuff. And there was a guy, Jake Powell. Does that name ring a bell for Colorado?
No, not for me.
Okay. Yeah, if he's alive still today, he'd probably be about 80. Yeah, he killed a world record something in Colorado. But yeah, it was Grand Junction. I used to hunt at Ben Pinkham. Does that ring a bell?
No, uh-uh.
Yeah, he was a big guy back in the day. I'm sure he's retired by now. Well, these guys are in the 80s. I mean, I'm 65, so these guys are, long gone, I guess. But
So did you hunt around Grand Junction?
not at all.
Okay.
I just because that was back when I was really heavily into collecting. I think I lost my first wife because of it. Uh, I would just correspond to everybody, like phone calls, letters, like a maniac. $300 phone bills. That was unheard of in 1980s.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
my mother was pissed, and these guys would respond to me, and some of these guys were Colorado guys, and they were like, "Hey, you got to come out here. You got to come do this." I mean, the bow hunting community is such a tight knit group. I mean, especially us traditional guys. I think it's the 2%ers. It's almost like the brothers from another mother.
Yeah.
And back then, even I was getting invited to go out and hunt antelope and do all this stuff. And it's like, wow. But I was married to a woman and young kids. Yeah, it's something you can't just get up and do.
Yeah.
You
I've
know.
invited a lot of people out to come out here elk hunting. Um, and I live just an hour from Grand Junction.
Mm.
So an hour east of there. Um, yeah, I watched the guy, he lefty, actually a 59 Grizzly he
Mm.
got for me, shot a 6-point bull on his opening day. Just screaming elk all around us. And I positioned him, and my son and I went about 40 yards from him and set up. And we hear some crashing coming in, and I look over to Pete, and he points that the bull's coming in, and man, I had a better shot than Pete, but I let Pete take it. And
Very ethical.
yeah, and yeah, 6-point bull. God, I think he may have been 18 yards shot.
Damn.
Yeah, he just went up to the water hole and put his head down, started drinking.
Bam.
Bam.
That's awesome.
So, but a buddy of mine invited a couple other guys out, and he asked me if they could hunt the water hole that I hunted, and I said absolutely. So I went around the mountain, and when I came back towards the end of the day, I got up on those two guys and introduced myself, and I said, "You see any elk?" And one guy goes, "I could have shot a cow earlier today." And I'm like, "Why didn't you?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, I'm waiting for a bull." I said,
"You know how good they taste?" Yeah. Oh my God.
I was just, yeah, big mistake. And he's like, "Oh, I'm here all week." I'm like, "Big mistake."
It's funny.
Shoot.
I have non-hunters that follow me, but they're interested in hunting. Okay. They just want education. And I've had them, they ask me, "What do you see when you watch an animal walk in front of you?" I said, "I see food on a table."
Yes.
And they're like, "Why do you see that?" I said, "Because that's my nature. It's my instinct. It's my natural, it's my chutzpah, if you will, for lack of a better term. Um, I don't think anything other than that. It's food."
Yeah. I shot one bull, and don't ever really care to shoot another bull.
Mhm.
It would have to be just a monster, because we have either sex elk tags out here.
Right.
If a cow walks in front of me, the cow's going down.
All right.
Just
I'm going to ask you a question. Elk meat, antelope meat. What's, if you're going to
antelope.
yep, exactly.
Hand, 100% hands down.
Yep, best meat I've ever eaten.
Yeah, it's on par with whitetail from Nebraska, that corn-fed whitetail.
Oh my God. Yeah, nothing like it. Nothing like it.
No, my son shot an antelope 3 years ago, and we got it home. We were 3 hours from the house. As soon as we got it quartered into coolers with ice, drove home, rinsed it. The processor wasn't open, so we put ice back into the coolers, took it there the next day, and everybody told us it's the worst game meat, worst game meat. So we had a lot of it turned into burger and sausage. We had burgers the first time, and I was trying to see my wife's reaction, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is so good."
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, and she does not like wild game.
My wife
And
either. My wife is kind of 90% vegan, and I've taken game meat. You know, I kill boar here locally, and I've had whitetail, but we used to process a lot of deer meat together, her and I, because the kids were little at the time. They're all grown now, but it would be like I'd cut them down, I'd quarter them, and I'd debone them, hand her the meat, and then she would grind stuff. And then what we would did with the burgers, we'd put in Lipton's French onion soup mix in the burgers. They were phenomenal.
nice.
Oh my God. But yeah, you got to be
We
careful.
we had last Saturday night here. I've got a gathering of neighbors, and
Oh, I love it.
yeah, we sit down, have a whiskey, and then one of the guys, he shot that big mule deer, and he took some deer steak and cut it into strips and made jalapeno poppers, venison stuffed.
Oh,
Oh, those are
oh.
so good. And another guy, he shot an elk.
Did he put cream cheese in them too?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
man.
And another guy brought over, he processed himself, made elk snack sticks.
Mm.
So yeah,
Those
there's,
are good neighbors to have.
yeah, absolutely it is. It is.
My
It,
neighbors, I've got a guy on my right of me who's a lawyer who had a snapping turtle at his front door, and I thought he was having a heart attack, so I had to dispatch the snapping turtle, so we know how that went down. And then the other neighbor cuts my grass and he smokes weed. So, you know, that's what I got going on here.
Oh, well,
and everybody else is Puerto Rican.
yeah, a lot of guys around me hunt. So
Well, yeah, look
that,
where you live.
and it's, man, and it, yeah, yeah, we almost hunt all year round between archery season, rifle season, ducks, and then there's quail and dove, and then into the second duck season. And then you can go to private game ranches where on my side of the state, go hunt pheasant.
I love
Um,
pheasant. I haven't killed a pheasant in probably 40 years.
it's been probably a month and a half.
Yeah, because I spent all my life, pretty most of my life in Maryland, and Maryland used to have a great pheasant population, and then foxes just tore them up.
That's Western Colorado's that way now. Mismanagement,
Yeah,
and they just let the predators take over, and the pheasant population's gone. That's you got to go to the pheasant ranches
hmm that's what we wound up doing. Yeah, pheasant ranches are good. So let me go back to archery again here. So what's your favorite with your St. Charles? What's your favorite arrow broadhead combo?
I shoot cedar arrows, and I still shoot Stoss broadheads.
Stoss. I'm not familiar with those.
Um,
Can
it's
you describe them?
it's a two blade, cut on contact, and it's STOS stands for
Hmm.
slicker than owl shit.
Okay.
So,
My kind of name.
yeah, they were only around for a certain amount of time. Then the guy quit making them, and my buddy who owned the traditional archery business, I bought several dozen arrows from him, and I still have a bunch. So, orange being my favorite color. So,
Mine's
there's
green.
yeah, they're orange crested, orange barred, cock feather. Um, yeah. So, but I did buy, man, Suzanne St. Charles. She makes some beautiful arrows
Oh
too,
my
and
God, they're beautiful.
yeah, and I bought a set from her a few years ago, for target shooting, not for hunting.
Yeah, they're so beautiful. I wouldn't want to use them in the woods
Yeah,
just for fear of breaking one.
yeah, it just they're so beautiful. She
Yeah,
does a phenomenal job.
she does, and I'm glad she's part of this whole thing.
Yes.
I'm trying to get her on, but it's like pulling teeth. Same thing with Joe, but I'll get him eventually.
You
I'm
ever
pers-
talk to Jay?
Oh, I recorded Jay when I did my Spotify podcasts. So that was back when it was just a recording, no video.
Okay.
So we may revisit this. Um, I'm 150, I think 155, 156 episodes in. And
Wow.
I did not go to video until like maybe 5, 6 months ago. Only because this is terrible, but this is how welfare I am. My boss sent me a portable camera so we could do Zoom meetings for company meetings. And then we went and he sent me a new laptop, which had a built in camera, but I had this camera laying around. I said, what can I do with this camera? Bing, light bulb went off. Yeah, so here we are. Uh,
Good.
thank you, State Farm. Oh, I should say that. But but thanks, guys. But at any rate, I do you compete in archery at all?
No.
Okay, I don't blame you. I couldn't handle the stress.
Yeah. Um, all the archery shoots I ever went to, I would bring my kids, and it was more about them and them having a good time. And then even as they got older, it was all it was just all about having a good time, being out
Hmm.
there together
Right.
and cracking jokes, and yeah, that's what it was all about.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, same here. Um, now I see you follow the collecting pages, and I think that's how you and I know each other because I've done a few
Yes.
bows for you. Do you consider yourself a bow collector, or you just collect certain things?
Not a bow collector anymore.
Okay.
Um, when I did collect, I collected bear archery up till about 1965, and it was everything: the catalogs, the
Mm-hmm.
quivers, the patches, the pins, you name it. The compass watch, everything. Um,
That's a tough one to find, the compass watch.
yeah, I had a brand new one in the box.
Mm.
So, and sold that. I still have my Bowhunter kit that's brand new in the box. That's going to go to my son. Um, and yeah, I started collecting Western knives as
Mm-hmm.
well. So those were out of Boulder, Colorado, and they made some really beautiful knives.
Yeah, they did for
So
sure.
um,
So, of the things that you've collected, any regrets of things you've let go?
one of the original St. Charles bows.
Hmm.
So I got two from Jay. What else have I let go of? Huh. A 59 Grizzly that a guy talked me out of, and I never should have let it go. So I've had, and this was my last rough count. I've had over 500 bows go through my hands.
Yeah, sure.
So it's hard to pinpoint just one. I have a Grumley that was given to
Mm.
me, and that'll never leave my hands. That'll get passed down to the kids. Um, yeah, that just, and I've got a 59 Maple Kodiak that Bodoc had redid,
Okay.
and I I'll never get rid of that one.
Now, you sent me a 59 maple sight window
Yes,
back in the day. Do you still have that?
I don't.
Okay. Now, I did tip overlays on a 59 Grizzly as well.
Yeah,
Do you still have that?
no.
Okay. Well, that's how it is. I mean, look at the void behind me.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's how we do.
yeah.
That's how we roll. Um, I tip overlay, so people can know this, is one of my favorite things to do. It's just therapeutic for me, just to shape them and see how they come on. It's just, it's like a butterfly. It's in chrysalis, and then it just turns into something else. That's how I look at refinishing and repairs. I hate total refinishes and repairs, but stuff like that just gets me. Yeah, it's orgasmic to me. But that's
I
how that's me. I'm
and
weird.
I've had people try and talk me into refinishing bows, and I did it for a little bit. It's so time consuming.
It is. And I'm here to tell people while we're on that subject is refinishing a bow is great if it's full of holes and it's beat to shit and the finish is crap. Okay. But if you got a bow that is original finish, it's got some stress, it's got a little crazing in it, leave it alone
Yeah,
because you're diminishing the value.
yeah,
People don't like to hear that, but there are some people that are OCD, and I'm like, I hate bursting their bubbles, but I'm here to burst bubbles. It's all good.
yeah.
Uh,
I've got a 59 Grizzly that I've been meaning to refinish. And I've got some timber. It's got a lot of stress in the limb, so I was going to put some
mm,
timber rattler skins on it, and I
I've
was
done
gonna
that.
make it my own and dye the sight window black, um, and yeah, and just go from there.
I mean, folks, they've made thousands of these bows. They're not rare, okay?
Yeah,
They're out there, okay?
yeah,
Bear Archery did not skimp on making bows at any year. So they're out there. Pick them up, assess them, reach out to me if you need to know anything. Reach out to, Todd here if you need to know anything. It's not rocket science, but if it doesn't have holes, it's got the original finish, a little bit of stress, a little bit of crazing, leave it alone. It's worth more as it is. That's just my 2 cents.
Hey, absolutely. Take it out and enjoy it.
Yeah. So let's tone it down a bit here. Tell us a favorite bow hunting story, maybe a hair raising story.
Um,
Because you're in Colorado, there's a lot out there that can kill you.
yeah, yeah. So one hair raising experience was that day that my buddy and I we went around the mountain because those two guys from out of state were on that water hole. So
Mm-hmm.
we sat down on a water hole and we are about 2 feet apart, and he just took a granola bar out of his pack. And I look over, I heard something, and I go, Jason, don't move. And he's like, and he turns his head and looks at me and goes, why? And I said, look to your right. About 5 feet to his right was a black bear.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And the black bear just walked down to the water, started drinking, caught our scent, and took off. I'm not scared of black bears. I'm more leery of mountain lions, and
Yeah.
have had one cross our.
So are joggers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, that was probably the most harrowing. As far as fun, my son and I, had been hunting this one area, and we know every year, opening day, the elk were going to be in this meadow.
Yep.
So we had gotten up there early, and he's off the right side of the trail, 10 feet. I'm off the left side about 15 yards, and he falls asleep right away. He's a teenager. So he leans up against a log, and I see him starting to doze off, and then I hear some noise, but it sounded like a couple of deer coming down the trail. And as I look over, it's cow elk coming down the trail. So I get my bow into position, and then they walk off the trail, and one of them steps over my son, and that cow was looking at my son, and she saw me move, and she jumps over him, and then the other cow elk comes running down, jumps over him, and he jumps up like, what happened?
Yeah,
And
man.
I'm laughing, and I walk over and I show him the hoof prints all around him. I'm going, that's why you don't fall asleep. And
We've
that
all
was
done
one.
it. We've all done it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, the utmost, I'd say, best hunting story would be the time I called in my son's first elk. 3 yards. He shot his first elk with a longbow at 3 yards.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at 3 yards, and that's the corner of my room from where I'm sitting. I'm like, wow, that's like up close and personal.
Yeah. I had to cover my head with my jacket, and I was lightly cow calling, and she came because when we came into the area, a bunch of the cows we spooked out, and this one was farther down, and she heard them come crashing out. So when I called, she came up to see what was going on.
That's
And
badass.
yeah, and so we took the elk down to the edge of the private property, and the owner was out there, and he's like, hey, you got an elk? I said, no, my son got an elk. And he goes, hold on a minute. And he went over, grabbed his ATV, and we had put the quarters of the elk onto the ATV, and he rode the elk back over to our camp for us. Yeah, my son was 13.
Oh, he must have been 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and that was exactly 1 week after I shot my first bull elk. So, and then the following year, opening morning, God, 300 yards from camp at the most, he shot a doe.
Wow.
And yeah, we had it packed out to the processor, and we showered at home, and we're back at camp before anybody else got back. And I hunt out of wall tents. So
yeah.
they came in at night, and they're like, you guys are showered. And one of the guys goes, you shot something. I said, no, boy shot something. And
yeah, what a proud moment, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your son's name?
Eric.
Eric. Kudos to you, brother. Got to give
Yeah,
him kudos on the podcast, man.
he loves hunt. He loves
Yeah.
to hunt.
So, yeah, now that you said that, my stepson Todd, we are super, super close, and he's a massive hunter, and I want him to come with me on a hunt out west sometime soon. So we're gonna work on that.
Make
Um,
make sure he's putting in for preference points.
yeah, we'll work on it. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna see him in a couple of weeks. So we're gonna sit down, put our brains together, and work it out. But he's a hardcore hunter. My grandson killed his first deer at 10 years old.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're in the right we're off to the right start. Yeah. I got a mess of kids, four boys and a girl, but only one is a real true hunter. And my grandson as well. Um,
All
so
the because I hunted with a lot of older guys, and they all called my son an old soul.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and just how he hunts, um, yeah, they just called him an old
Well,
soul.
Todd, the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from.
And I didn't. Well, my buddy Dick, he's 80 years old, just turned
Mm.
80, and he's the one
My
who got
hunting
me in.
partner is 75. So yeah.
And he got me into traditional archery. And my growing up back east, I never hunted, and then I was kind of winging it till I met him on a job site,
Mhm.
and he took me out, showed me the ropes.
Yeah, I've learned more from my hunting partner than anybody in my life. And he's an amazing man, John Hutter. He's been on my podcast before, back before I went to video. And yeah, I owe an incredible amount of debt to him. But it's awesome. So what's in store for you for 2026? Any crazy hunts? Are you doing anything nuts? You know,
I'm applying. My son's going to apply for that trophy area that I hunted last year.
okay.
So I'm going to put in for a bear tag down there,
Hmm.
and hopefully he draws. Um, and then we can go do a hunt together.
You know, it's
So,
ironic. We had our first bear season here in Florida in 10 years, and quota and all that, and they killed 176 bear. That's a big deal.
well,
That's a lot of bear, and they didn't even scratch the surface. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're everywhere here. Where I live, I have 49 acres across the street from my house, and I live in a very, you know, normal neighborhood, if you will. And there's deer, turkey, all sorts of stuff going on in the woods, but you can't hunt there because it's private property.
yeah.
So it is what it is. But dude, we're winding down here. But anything else? How can people get a hold of you?
Just cell phone or email.
Okay, you're on Facebook, obviously.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
how about Instagram?
No.
Okay,
No.
yeah, I think Instagram's a waste of time, but I do it anyway. It's just a photo thing. But at any rate, Todd, I just want to thank you so much for coming on and agreeing to come on with me tonight. It's been a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's yeah. Anytime you guys want to head to Colorado and hunt, let me know.
All right. Well, we've been in touch. We will stay in touch.
If you want to go fishing,
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about fishing. You're obsessed with fishing.
yes,
So if you go on Todd's Facebook page, just 90% of his photos are fishing. You've
yes,
monster freaking trout.
yes. I
So
was taught by what I consider to be the best lake trout guide in Colorado,
okay.
and so that's what we target mainly in the winter. Um,
Good eating, man.
oh yes, yeah, absolutely good eating. Um, yeah, there's, one of my favorite pastimes was my son and I. We would go to undisclosed place because I don't want to tell anybody. And you'd take like a 2-weight or a 3-weight fly rod and you'd go catch brook trout and not see another soul all day long.
That's solitude, man.
Yeah, it is. And you've got 14,000-foot peaks, snow-capped peaks all around you. And you're catching 50 to 100 in a day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm salivating right now. So I've got beef tips and mashed potatoes waiting for me, but I really right now want to eat some trout.
Yeah. Yeah. Cooking fresh brook trout up at camp is phenomenal.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So give us a recipe. In my mind, lemon pepper, lemon zest, and butter.
Perfect. Wrap it in tin foil and over the coals it goes.
Yep. You don't have to go crazy with it.
No, it's simple. That's as simple as it gets. Brook trout are sweet anyways. And they're just good eating. Just salt, pepper.
Awesome.
Yeah, a little butter in the tin foil and salt, pepper. If you want to wrap them with a little piece of bacon, you can.
Oh, yeah. Nah, screw the bacon. Let's go. Let's go to town.
Yeah, lake trout are incredible as well. Fried or with a blackened seasoning. I like the blackened seasoning.
Little Cajun.
Yeah. Yeah. You got really good fishing down by you.
Oh, yeah. They're bass. And what's funny here in Florida, so you catch a bass and you're reeling it in, and all of a sudden the water disrupts ahead of it. And guess what that is? It's
Alligator.
A gator. Yeah. So it's between you and the gator. Who's going to get the fish? So that's always fun.
I'll tell you how obsessed I am. The last pictures of ice fishing, we couldn't take the snowmobiles out. There just wasn't enough snow. And we bought these snowmobiles because last winter, when we go ice fishing at our favorite lake for lake trout, it's 9/10 of a mile one direction.
Wow.
So you've got all your gear in a sled and you're pulling this 40, 50 pounds for almost a mile. And then at the end of the day, you're doing it all over again.
Oh, yeah.
And if there was deep enough snow, you'd have to wear snowshoes to get out there. So that's how obsessed. And the last spring, we decided to buy a couple of old snowmobiles so it wouldn't kill us any longer. But there's just not enough snow.
Yeah. But I totally get it, man. I mean, I just want to experience that. It's just I've never have. I've ice fished a little bit, maybe when I was way younger. I just love that stuff. So, at any rate, thanks so much for sharing everything with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming on. Let's stay in touch. And folks, oh, by the way, T-Cats this weekend, Kalamazoo. Check it out. I'll put it on my page. If you like this, subscribe and like the YouTube. I really would appreciate that. And Todd, thanks again, brother.
Shoot me the information for that guy with that sells those 50th anniversary handles.
Yes, I will. Thank you. All right, brother. I'll be in touch. Take care.
Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.